Say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello.
Hello? How you doing, James?
Hey, Carlos, how's it going?
Hey, good, man. Blessed. Trying to stay positive, trying to stay humble, you know what I mean? And just enjoying myself at this time of the year, you know what I mean? Trying to just you know, not letting circumstances dictate my emotions and just remembering how blessed I am, right? You know, that I'm here, that I got my family and that they visit me and they take care of me and surround myself with pure positive people too, right? Got a lot to do with it. So I'm good, man.
That's good, man. That's good. Always, good to hear from you, and wanna go ahead and thank you for tuning in with us again, and sharing your experience and your journey through the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitations, and I've been thinking.
Yeah,
I know I think we haven't
yeah,
spoken in about 2 weeks now, and the other day I was thinking,
yeah,
obviously you're condemned, and at some point,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure you going through what you were going through. Uh, you've thought about what would your last meal be if you would actually get that far, because if I remember correctly from what I read, the last person that was condemned was in 2009, I want to say,
Six,
or oh, six.
2006.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
2006. The last time they actually tried to kill somebody, yeah, 2006.
Okay, okay. So yeah, I was wondering, have you ever thought about what would your last meal be, or if would you eat it, or would you give it away? What would you do?
Um, well, back in those days when they were still executing people, they would they were actually allowing you to have your family bring you a home cooked meal, right? And at that time, everything, the security threat wasn't like real high like it is now. And imagine having your mom making your favorite meal that she used to make you when you were a little kid, or growing up, carne con chile, or you know pork meat with salsa on it with some rice, and man, that would have been the bomb. But at these times now, if they restarted again, that these laws have changed so much, right? That they don't allow that no more. That they don't allow us to have that type of last meal from our family members anymore. But just a meal that they serve here in prison, we can choose out of all the meals that they serve to give us one meal if we prefer from them like that, or we can have our family buy us food from the vending machines, and and you can spend up to $30. And so in the vending machines, there's in San Quentin actually, they bring like these fresh foods every single visiting, and they have these Philly steak uh, hoagie bread, good sub, right, with you know thick ass meat on it, with grilled onions and grilled bell peppers and 3 layers of cheese, and the bread's toasted like that. I would have been like, I want two of those, two Philly steak sandwiches, and a jalapeno burger. He gave me a cheese, a little small slice of cheese, a chocolate cheesecake, my Mountain Dews. Give me some Dorito chips and a couple of Snickers and Twix, and just stuff up on all kinds of just a little bit of everything, right? That I like, that they allow us to get through the vending machines now, and it's name brand food. You know what I mean, from the streets. Doritos, Snickers, and stuff like that. You know what I mean, like that are in most vending machines, but like right there they put some different, fresh food. Sometimes they put burritos of carne asada, you know, flautas with the guacamole, and they bring it fresh. You know what I mean? So I would have had a pretty big selection. You know what I mean, of different type of foods that I wasn't able to get. But like if I had a choice of my last meal, it would have probably been like my last meal would have probably been like something like I don't know if you ever taste chile relleno, like it's in a caldo. and it's like it reminds me of home, right? Like I wouldn't mind going out with something like that, something that would remind me of my mom.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Like those atmosphere moments when like all the family was together in the dining table, all my brothers, my sisters, and my mom, my dad, and it's like real early in the morning, and everybody's talking, and we're just grubbing and just you know enjoying a good hot soup with a chile relleno with cheese in it and everything, and it has the egg baked around the the bell pepper, and then the caldo's made out of like um boiled chicken juice with different type of seasonings into it. Like it's just real good with cheese melted into it. Like it's so good, right? And just eating it will bring those memories back, right? Like when I was together with all my family sitting at the table, and that's like a good warming memory to have. Like if I knew that that was like one of my last meals that I get to eat, and it would bring that that childhood memory out of me. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Man, and would you guys would it be something that you guys would discuss amongst each other? What you guys would eat, or would that be taboo?
Um, you know what? Like right there, it was like that conversation really wasn't really a topic because they were haven't executed nobody in since 2006, and so they were more like the conversations you would hear instead of that would be like, man, like what are they gonna do with us? Are they gonna start killing us or not? like like do something with us. There's 750 of us. What are they gonna do with us, man? Like I want to know, so at least I know what to expect. And and I've talked to people though that well, like one of the last persons that not the last person they killed, but the next person after that was next that they called in and they stopped his execution. But this guy, there was a black guy. I remember his name was Kenny, and Kenny was he went through the whole process. They separate you for a whole month, right? And within that whole month, as you're being separated from population, they put you in an isolation cell, and they start first. They bring you your mental health. They bring you a doctor, no matter what, different doctors, to tell you the process, what they're about to do to you, and how can you handle it. Like this is what's going to happen to you. You need to know that, like making sure you understand the process that they're going to about to do to you. Then you got to sign some medical paperwork waivers that they're going to administrate to you. And if they don't, as long as they read it to you, saying that that they're going to stick needles in your arms and put some chemicals inside of you to terminate your life. And then after that, you get your family visits. Your family comes and visits you for 2 days. You know, and this is already like within the 2 week process. All this is happening, and then you go a whole 2 week period with no visits, no nothing. You're just you and your thoughts. Then they send you a chaplain, and a chaplain, if you want to talk to a chaplain, confess or say whatever it is you need to tell a chaplain, find God or whatever it is that person, and then like your last week, they'll send one more doctor again to make sure you're not going to try to kill yourself or go crazy. The process, everything's happening, and then making sure that everything's okay. And then that whole week that they're about to execute you, they just, you're still waiting in the same cell for a whole month, and they let your family come visit you one last time on the week that you're about to die, and then after that you die within that week. Like they take you and they execute you. Well, this guy went all the whole process, everything that I told you, that whole month of rigorous, like just the mental stress of thinking about it, and then to him to tell you like, hey, the governor just stopped all executions. You're not gonna get executed uh, in 2 days from now. Like Like you just went through all that whole process that I was telling you. Like imagine what his mental was about, and plus, he already had his last meal and everything, and he was already getting ready to, and then hearing like, hey, sorry, we're not gonna kill you no more. He has to go through all that all over again. He says, man, it was one of the worstest months of my life. He told me, because how do you prepare to know that you're no longer gonna live? Like you're gonna die. Like that's it. Like how do you prepare for that? He's telling me. He goes, like I couldn't accept it. I didn't want to accept it. Like I felt like I was just gonna just start lashing out at them and let them drag me to the chair because I wasn't gonna give, I wasn't gonna give up my life like that. And I was like, man, that's crazy. Like I can't even fathom it. Like how to think about something like that. And like they were more like those type of conversations, right? Than like our last meal, right? Because we already knew they took the last meal, like of our family bringing in our something that we would like. They took that away, so we were like, it's just gonna be vending machine meals. Like who cares? But yeah.
Definitely interesting.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Yeah.
As far as I'm gonna go ahead and change the subject. So right now, with the holidays, coming up and whatnot, I know last time you sent me a message.
Okay.
You said you were gonna have or one of your family members was gonna come and visit you. How important are those visits to you? When you do get them.
Oh man, like during that time when I had just got that, my mom, my dad, and my sister came and visited me, and I needed it, because sometimes when you get stuck in these walls for so long, like the same stories, the same drama, same people, you know, hearing things happening on the yard, or like so and so got in a fight. Hey, he's talking about this. Hey, he's talking about that. And like when you get called out to visit, it's like you get to escape. You know what I mean? Like get away from all this in here, and you go into a visiting room, sitting down with your family, and it just brings a whole different energy. You know what I mean? Like you're just around your family, like, Ama, Apa, how you guys doing? How is it out there? What's going on out there? How's my brother? Or how's this? And like you get more into depth of you see the facial expressions, and it's always good to get out. You know what I mean? To get out there and they love to come and just feed me. You know what I mean? My parents do, and then so does my fiance. She comes in and visits me too, and it's always good to spend time out there and visiting because you you need that mentally, right? Because it's like a USA, you know what I mean? Like, oh, finally, like I don't have to worry about nobody trying to run up on me, or I have to worry about none of you guys talking about that. It's just me and my family. It's like a time where you just get to relax, a safe zone, right? And any single time you meet up with people that you love, it's a blessing. You know what I mean? Like it's because sometimes I start thinking like, man, there's guys here that I never get visits, and you can see it in their face, man. Like some of them get kind of like they get broken inside, like if nobody loves them, or they miss their family, or they're guilty because they put themselves in here, and they can't see their family, and you know it builds up this frustration in them, and I could see it, you know what I mean, and so that's why they're important, you know what I mean. Visits are important
You have 60 seconds remaining.
to keep a balance for some. Like for me, it was a balance to see them off and on, to give me a purpose to stay out of trouble, you know what I mean, to give me a purpose to to show my family as they're right there sitting down right in front of me that I'm not that same person that I was when I first got locked up, because they're hearing me, they're seeing me, they're watching me smile, they're watching me talk, they're watching me engage, and like they're proud of me, you know what I mean? They're real proud of me to see me the way I am now than compared to when I was real selfish and I didn't really care. So those bits are real important, believe it or not. So Want me to call you back?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, yes, yes.
All right, let me call you back.
All right, so I want to go ahead and thank all of you guys for coming back in. I'm not exactly sure what happened on the last stream. I looked up at the numbers and everybody was just gone. So I ended up cutting the stream after I noticed that. And then I already had a pre-scheduled interview with or phone call with Carlos. And we also have another upcoming interview or chat with Silas. And I think he said he might be bringing Gary on, so it might be both of them. So that'll definitely be definitely interesting. And I guess today I'm gonna be on here for the next few hours and whatnot. So there we go. Let me see here.
This call is now
This is
being recorded.
Global Tel Link. You have a prepaid call from
Carlos Contreras.
an inmate at the Centinela State Prison, Centinela, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello, Carlos.
Yeah.
And,
All right now.
all right. And how often do you get visits from your family? Is it on a regular basis or like every month or how often do you get to spend time with your family?
Okay. Well, with my mom, my pops, they try to come at least for sure twice a month or once, every month. And my fiance, she comes maybe like at least three times, 3 times a month, if she can. And but for sure 2 times a month. But she's here every weekend, And this is gonna be my wife someday. So any single chance that I get with her, she's only about an hour and a half. So I mean, an hour and 15 minutes. And the thing is, she doesn't drive, and she finds rides over here. She still makes ways to get over here, and those visits when I get them, and when they come, it's I treasure them. You know what I mean? I treasure them, and I try to make the best out of my relationship that way, and at the same time with my parents, because they're getting older in age. They're about in their 60s, already gonna push 70s, like 69 and 68. And so these are those moments where like you never know, I mean, they're getting up there in that age where you never know when they might leave. So I'm building up these memories right now with them to the point where I'm cherishing them, because you never know when it'll be the last time I'll see them. And so yeah, there's just every chance I get, I enjoy them, and little by little, now that I'm closer to home, I'm getting my cousins and my uncles all getting approved to come visit me, and start building connections with the rest of my family that I hadn't seen in so long, because they remember that
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
they remember the travieso, the black sheep, the hi Carlos, the bad one, So I want them to see this new me, right? And I want them to really understand that I've changed and I've become a different man. And so now that I'm closer to home, I'm sending a lot of visiting forms home to see my cousins, my uncles, and my brothers, even to build these new relationships with this new perspective in life.
Hey, Carlos. Not to get away from what you're speaking about right now, but I want to mention something to you right now, just because one of our
Yes.
listeners right here is blessing you with $10. So this is gonna be
Okay.
one of our followers, our listeners. He goes by the name his name is Fish Slayer SoCal. And what I'll do is, well,
Okay.
first of all, I want to go ahead and thank him, for tapping in, listening,
Yeah,
and then also, for
that's
being
right.
generous and blessing you with those $10. So what I'm gonna do is, he sent that over to me. It's called I think a super chat, I believe. I want to say, And what I'm gonna do is
All right.
by the end of this the stream, I'll go ahead and send that to you
Mhm.
via GTL, and normally you'll receive it
Okay.
within a day or two, and then just
Yeah.
want to go ahead and thank him for
Oh,
for doing that.
all right. Hey, that's right. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that, and God bless you. You know what I mean? And God sees your heart, and that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, and I appreciate people like that actually that give from their heart. You know what I mean? And see stuff like that, because that's something that me and my fiance are doing this year. Like, we're barely making it as it is financially, and then we've been blessed so much, through God, through different family members and everything, and then I've never had a problem with money, and I thank God for that, and but my wife this year told me, my fiance told me, hey, look for two guys that don't have nobody out, nobody in here, like that, so they can have a little something for Christmas, and you know maybe we might be able to help them out. And I was all like, all right, baby, let me pray on it. And um, I found two people, man, two people that don't have no family members. One is a youngster, and the other one's a kind of mid age guy. And just to see their face when they get to the store, right? It was a case of soups, some toothpaste, and like two bags of chips, right? And just to see them, be like, oh, why? Why are you doing this? I say, man, God bless you, man. And I see that you don't have nothing right now, and me and my wife want to bless you. And so just to see that gratitude, you know what I mean? Like he came up to me and he hugged me and goes, hey, thank you, Carlos. You don't even know what that means. And I said, nah, hey, man, God has been good to me, and we're blessing you, because God has been good to us. So that's where it's coming from. It's not really us, but God's good to us, so we want to be good to you. And have a good Christmas, my brother. And you can see like when they get all watery, teared up. So I appreciate when people do that. You know what I mean? God sees it all, and thank you for that. We appreciate that.
And that's one of the great things here of doing this doing these having these conversations live, is that sometimes our audience they bless you guys that are listening,
Okay,
and
that's right.
that's huge. That's definitely huge. They don't have to
Yeah,
do it, but they choose to. So it's definitely definitely
yeah,
want to recognize that, and because it is difficult. Like you said earlier on, I mean it's a little bit difficult sometimes. Not everybody has the
yeah.
means to go do little extra things. Even going to like McDonald's, some people can do, and to some of us, it's
Yeah,
not a big deal, but to others it is. So definitely especially right now during the
that's right.
holidays. So definitely wanna
That's right.
recognize that, and it's huge.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that.
All right. So back to your visits. Uh, are you
Yeah.
now that so even though if you're condemned, are you, let's say if you and your fiance ever tie the knot, would you be eligible to have conjugal visits or family visits?
Um, as a condemnment, we can't get conjugal visits. We're not allowed to. Only once if they do away with the death penalty, then we'll be able to get conjugal visits. They'll make us life without parole, LWOPs, and we'll be able to, they qualify for conjugal visits. But as for right now, um, the most conjugal I can get with it is visiting. Hugging on her, touching her, kissing her. That's as best as it gets. And but don't get me wrong, just you know, she lived already. She has her kids. She has her family. Like I lived too before I got busted. You know what I mean? Like it's not like it's more of a emotional attachment, and it's not really the sexual part, but you know, it's you know, if we were ever to get married there, they actually allow a chaplain to come in, and I think it costs us like they said I think $300 to get married in prison. We have to file the applications. I do, and then she does, and then we get together. We get together, and with the chaplain there at visiting, everything's set on a date. We have witnesses that come in, and she can dress in her her wedding gown, and I'm still in my blues, but they we bring in rings, the rings that we have. We get our rings, our wedding rings that day, and they do a whole ceremony inside the visiting room, and that's where it happens, is in the visiting room. They allow us to get married, and try to make it like a little special moment. Every prison's different. Some prisons will give you 20 pictures, some will give you 10. Right here is only 5, of that special day.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Some other prisons will allow you to buy like wedding cakes, and depending on the wedding coordinator. But yeah, I'm planning to, hopefully, if God willing, I'll get married this year and have that experience here in Centinela, and something that I'm looking forward to, and if these laws change within this next year, if they put it on the ballot of getting rid of the death penalty, and they do get rid of it, then and they change the laws for us, then yeah, I'll be able to be qualified for conjugal visits. But that's something me and my fiance have looking forward to and praying for in the future. The way the system is going right now, the laws are changing rapidly for the better, and so it's a positive thing. It's a bit of humanity. They're giving us a humanity back, because I don't think a person should be deprived of that type of intimacy and contact with your own personal wife. I don't think a human being should be deprived of something like that. Even if they're in prison, and yeah, that'll be something awesome.
Yeah, definitely. If I was in your situation, that's something definitely I would be looking for. Just to have that connection and that intimate time.
Yeah,
Especially it'll be definitely a huge
yeah,
escape from your regular prison routine, if you will.
yeah. It gives us time to cuddle, cook, and be in like a little house that they have you in. They let you buy whatever food you want in there, and they have like Xboxes inside there where you can play video games, watch movies. You could even bring like a whole family, right? Like your parents can come and you can have like a whole family day. You could, if they have kids, they can bring your kids in and have like a family day. So it's just cool, you know what I mean? Like with nobody like pointing the finger, hey, don't do that, don't do that. It's just like you feel like you're at home, and yeah, that'll be something different, man. It'll be something different, And I told my wife too, my fiance, if we ever do get that chance in the future, you know, the very first day that we do ever get it, I told her we're gonna just we're gonna give it to God. We're gonna pray and and fast that day, and just give him a day of not having no sex, no nothing, just spending time together, talking, cuddling, hugging, watching a movie together, praying, and just spending that like close bond together. And then the next day, well, it's on. But just giving that much respect and showing discipline and restraint, because we're just so grateful that now we have that, and we want to honor God by not doing that on the first day, because it's really not about, that's why we want it, is to have sex. We want it because we want to spend like time together and hug and chop it up and watch a movie together, and like, just be like, hey, trip out, like stuff like that, It's just cool.
All right, Carlos, and then I got some more good news for you. So we have another listener.
All
He
right.
goes by the name of Lifestyles Chronicle, and I want to go ahead and
Okay.
give him a big thank you. He's sending a big 9.99
Okay.
over to you. So that's you're up to $20 for this
Okay.
stream. So and then he puts Carlos,
Okay.
keep your
Okay.
head up, homie. Don't let the CDC break you. 100%. Uh, this 100% fire. This life is only temporary. God has bigger plans for all of us. And he puts the little praying hands.
That's right. Hey, thank you. You know, I appreciate that. It's much received and much appreciated. And God bless you, man. You know, I appreciate people like you. Thank you.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Oh man, she got us with the 60 seconds
Yeah.
remaining, man.
You want me to call back?
Yeah. So we could do like another two calls, and then I'm gonna take like a 30-minute break, and then
Yeah,
I have some other guests coming on. But yeah, we could talk right
I
now when you
got
call
you.
back. Is there if there's anything that you've been thinking about that you want to touch on and that you want to mention? You know, the mic's open, and it's pretty much your story, your journey. So whatever you feel
Got it.
like you want to share with us, then I'm all for it.
All right, thank you. All right, let me call you back.
All right, perfect. All right. All right. So once again, I really really appreciate the generosity that you guys are showing towards these gentlemen. It means a lot. And like I said, I'll go ahead and um, I'll send them. Normally I would send it right after you guys send it to me, but what I learned from the last stream last time was I might as well just wait until the end of the stream so then I could just send everything at the same time, because if not, then I would have to pay a bunch of different fees for the individual payments. So I'll just send a big, whatever it is at the end of the stream, I'll send it over just on one hit, and then it'll definitely make it easier on me. So, but once again, definitely definitely appreciate it. For tomorrow, I don't think I'm gonna be going live just because I'm gonna be at work all day. Um, they got me in the 10-hour shift tomorrow, so I go in at about 10 and I don't get up until about 9:30 or 8:30. So, but Saturday I'm also gonna be working, but I go in a little bit later, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to run a stream before I head off to work. So definitely we'll have something going on Saturday for sure. On Sunday we have Jesse and David coming in, so go ahead and mark your calendars for that. Don't want to miss out. It should be, I think, at either 4 or 4:30, but go ahead and put it on. I'll put the stream on the live, and then you guys will be notified. I think you guys will be notified. I'm not exactly sure how it works. If you guys get a notification on your phone, or if you have to actually go in and proactively look for the live.
This
This
call
is
is now being
Global
recorded.
Link. You have a prepaid call from
Carlos Contreras.
an inmate at the Centinela State Prison, Centinela, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Link.
Hello, Carlos.
Hello? Hey, all right now, Jane.
All right, all right. So in the last 2 weeks, it's been like about 2 weeks since we had our last conversation, right?
Yeah, it's about there, yep.
In those last 2 weeks, how's anything changed? As far as like everything that's happening right there where you're at, or has it pretty much just remained the same?
Not, everything's, everything is repetitive here, and, circumstances, you get to see different circumstances, and your surroundings change a lot during this time of year, right? Because it's the holidays, man. It's the holidays, and a lot of people wish they were with their families, and people get more antsy, right? A lot of people are more angry because they're still living with that guilt and shame because they wish they were with their family, or like I said, because they're not out there. They put themselves here, and and you could really see the hurt, right? And and usually there's a lot of fights during like this time of year. There's a lot of fights. People are venting out on people. They don't know how to take out their frustration. They don't know how to deal with what they're going through, so they deal with their frustrations on somebody else. And you know, so there's a big rise of that. Also, in other places that I've been at, suicide rates is pretty high around this time of year. And I guess with me, it's been more like I said, we tried that new thing, trying to reach out to people to help, and at the same time, I've been trying to instill into a lot of people. It's not about the Christmas tree. It's not about Santa Claus. It's about Jesus Christ. And that's just the preacher in me, though. Because it's sad that people have had the Christmas. When you ask anybody,
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
what does Christmas mean to you, and they're all like, man, it's time to spend time with family. Open up presents and just be with family and eating good food. And I asked the question to a lot of people, right? And it's usually the same answer: family, presents. And I said, man, that's sad that we're supposed to be celebrating Jesus' birthday, right? Like, when you have your birthday, like it's sunshine, right? Like everybody knows it's your birthday. Everybody's celebrating with you, and they forget to invite Jesus to his own birthday, right? So this year, like I tried to instill in my family, my nieces, and like, hey, don't forget about Jesus. That's what it's really all about. He gives us that salvation. You know what I mean? Like that second chance of life. And when I try to tell that to the guys here, so they can relate and be like I tell them, hey man, this is your chance to repent and stop what you're doing, man, and start new, start fresh. You know what I mean? Start different, a different way. Start learning these different characters, and it all happened because Jesus was born around this time, and to not forget about him, and to think about the family things, think about the presents, and think about also what he did for us, and also that thought of there's a time and a place for everything. That's what I've been pondering on within these past 2 weeks, about there's a time and a place for everything. And sometimes a lot of people are going through so much, right? Their mom died, their kid is acting out, they're fighting with their wives or whatever, and sometimes we go around and talk to the next person next to us, and we dump all our problems on them. Well, you know what, I'm going through this, and this guy disrespecting me this way, and then my teacher keeps getting at me like this, the officer keeps, man, they just hit my cell, and they're just doing, like, they're just pouring out all their emotions on somebody else. And this other person, their mom just died, or their son just died, or their brother just died, or something tragic. But we don't take the time to know when to dump our stuff on people, right? And we miss it because we're not paying attention to the person next to us. We just want to let out everything that we're going through, but we don't empathize. We don't first check on the person in front of us and fill them out. See where they're at. See if they're ready to receive what we're about to tell them. Because sometimes when you tell these things to them, it's just going through one ear or out through the other, or they're just like, oh yeah, oh they're not even listening to you, or you're just probably just dumping way too much on their plate that they can't handle, right? Where it might affect them even more, and they wig out, or maybe they might take it in a bad way and respond different, to be like, hey man, you know what, I got my own problems, you need to have alone, and it causes conflict. So when there's a time and a place for everything. There's a time and a place to dump all our problems on people, like untrusted people. You know, knowing who we have to do that with, right? And that we can't just do that with anybody. And I think that's something that's real important. You know what I mean? Like, if I was out in the streets, I would do that probably with my wife. But sometimes wives go through a lot of stuff too, right? That they're holding on to the kids, all the kids, drama or what they're doing, or they got to worry about the bills, they got to worry about doing, the laundry, the dishes, and I got to go pay this, I got to go buy that, I go buy the charger, and then they do so much stuff, and then here we come home from work, and they're like, hey, the boss today got at me like that, I almost crashed the car. Can you believe this stupid dog got in the way and this and that? And they're like, man, you want me to tell you about my day? But there's a time and a place for everything, and I think that's something that I was trying to ponder on this whole past 2 weeks, and knowing when I can open up to somebody about certain things, stuff like that.
And you know what? And right now, I mean, if you, I mean, where you're at, and then everybody else, if you shed light on it, I'm sure it changes the person's outlook on where they're at opposed to where you're at, because a lot of these people, uh, um, they have outdates. So you definitely put it in perspective.
Yeah,
I'm sure when you share your story with them, because things could always definitely be worse. So it's always I'm more of
yeah,
a, some people look at a cup of water, and if it, they might say if it's half full, or everybody looks at everything differently. So I'm sure just sharing your story, and speaking to these men, it definitely gives them a different outlook on where they're at.
oh yeah, most definitely. There's even sometimes I count my blessings. I'm a person that counts my blessings. I'm very grateful. You know, Believe it or not, I sometimes put myself in other people's shoes, like other prisons in other countries. Like, man, we got tablets. They give us meals a day. They wash our clothes if we wanted to wash. We got family that loves us. We got cable, and other countries they're lucky if they even get like a bowl of soup with one piece of bread, right? Like, that's how bad it is in like Mexico, Africa, and like different places. And so sometimes I just think about stuff like that. Like, believe it or not, people in India would wish they had clean water, right? And here we have it out of sea, coming out like nothing, or having hot water like that. And when I start pondering like why I'm grateful, those are like the little things that I start just with the simplest things that people take for granted, right? And it's not only when you lose everything that you start appreciating everything, right? And that's the first one of the first lessons that I remember. And around these times of the year, I always I do that self-reflecting, right? I try to check myself so I don't feel too entitled, or I don't feel selfish, or I don't feel like I'm ungrateful, right? And that's helped me to stay humble. That's helped me to be appreciative of people and appreciative of the things that I've got. And so it's a beautiful experience when you just like something simple. Okay, so when we get our lunch bag, we get an apple, right? A good ass gala apple. That's what they're called, galas, and they're real juicy, right? But before I would eat it, I'll be like, man, you know how where this apple came from? First, someone had to till the ground. They tilled the ground. They put tractors through it. Then they planted seed in it. Then they watered it. Then they planted that tree for maybe a couple years. Then it bear the fruit. Then after the fruit, someone picked it. They inspected it. They washed it. Then they shipped it. Then it ended up in my hands. And some people will eat it. Some people will just get that food and just grub on it like nothing, just chew on it like if nothing, just throw it away. But when I sat there and paid attention to the process, I was like, man, somebody worked hard just to give me this fruit. And believe it or not, I appreciate that. You know what I mean? It's like a little meditation type of exercise that I've learned, and it's a trip, man. Like you know what I mean? Everything that we have, believe it or not, it's because of taxpayers, and that's one of my prayers. You know that I say that I appreciate. You know the people that are taxpayers out there because they're the ones that are paying for everything that we eat. You know to sustain us, and that's one thing that I always do. I always say, thank you. You know, my prayers to God. Thank those who are always paying the taxes and supplying for us because they're the ones doing all the hard work, and when we're, and I'm one of those that are really appreciative about it.
Uh, Carlos, let me ask you something. Would you
Yeah,
would you be interested in if I have the capabilities and we could test it out right now to have
yeah,
uh, one of our um, one of our watchers if they want to call in and maybe they could ask you a question or two.
yeah, sure,
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So what I'm gonna do right now,
yeah,
if you
mhm,
could go ahead and take the mic right now, I'm gonna run over to my living room. I'm gonna grab a phone and I'm gonna grab a connection so I could plug it into this device I got here, and then I'll put
all
the
right,
the phone number that they could call us at. It's gonna be a WhatsApp, so if you have WhatsApp, I'll drop the number, and then you could just go ahead and call in, and then we'll go ahead and if you have a question for Carlos here, and you could interact with him like that, and while I do that, if
This
you
call and your telephone number will be monitored and
if
recorded.
you don't mind taking over for a quick moment, and I'll be right back.
all right, that sounds good. And so also being here in this new transformation that I have now with all these new freedoms, one thing that I've always learned and loved was that the whole process that it took just to get where I'm at. And I remember the very first days they were releasing us from death row. Like I had never in my whole my whole imagination of thinking like it was gonna be to where I'm at now, like in a bigger cell, having a ceiling, being able to walk the track with some ice cream. Like I've done time before in level twos, but never in a level three. And I never thought that I would like this would be my life. Like to me, this actually feels like if I paroled already, I
You have 60 seconds remaining.
like I made it out of the streets, and I'm out here living a free life with this new program that the pilot program offers for condemned inmates, and there's gonna be a changing coming pretty soon, right? Where they're gonna allow us to go to level twos and interact with more people, get involved in more programs, get different jobs, and at the same time allow us to pay our restitutions to those who we inflicted and harmed, to pay our debt back to society, and that's a positive thing. I want to pay my debt back, you know, and because the all my victims deserve that, you know, and by me working in more areas, it's going to help me. So part of those laws when they do change, that's one of the things I would want to do is to pay my debt.
Okay, so I'm setting up the phone right now. I'm about to put the phone up on in the chat if anybody's interested in giving us a call. So you could go ahead and ask him whatever you would like to ask him. All right. And once again, this number you could reach at. We could reach it via WhatsApp. WhatsApp it's free. All you have to do if you don't have it set up is you would download the app, verify your phone number, and then you would just punch in the number like it appears on the screen. Just make sure you punch that plus sign and then the 52, and then the following digits, and then preferably just a regular call. No video. I'm not. No need for video because I'm not gonna share that on the screen there. So the lines are open, and if you wish to call in, then well, there's only two people or three people watching right now. So if one of you two or three want to call in, then this is the time to go for it. Oh, we got. Let me see. Okay.
This
This
call
is
is now being
Global Tel
recorded.
Link. You have a prepaid call from
Carlos Contreras.
an inmate at the Centinela State Prison, Centinela, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
All right, Carlos.
Yeah. All right now, James.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
All right. So I went ahead and I set everything up. We only have one listener right now, so
Cool.
we probably won't be getting anything
Okay.
in today. But if we do, then we're ready. If not, then maybe next time.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So I didn't catch like what you were speaking about because obviously I stepped away to grab a phone.
Yeah.
What?
No. Well, I was talking about the whole process of me, not that like the whole process, but the moment that I try to ponder and know that this is for real. I'm not in death row no more. Like I'm on a level 3 yard, and I'm able to walk the track, eat ice cream, and I'm not in handcuffs no more. It's just it's a blessing. You know what I mean? And that as these laws keep changing, that are coming up soon, they're gonna allow us to go to level 2s, get different jobs, pay my debt, you know what I mean, like pay my restitution debt, and start helping me to pay that off through these jobs that I get in more areas that pay more money, in other words. And that's one thing that I want to do is pay the victims that I harmed the money that I owe them, like the funeral costs and the punitive damages and everything, like make my amends. And that's something that will happen and that is happening now. And out of 9,900 and 900 and some, I only owe 3,900 and some now. So it's I was covered a lot. You know what I mean? And so it's just slowly but surely just getting it all paid off, and then I'll have my debt paid to society already.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Everything that I caused, for my crimes and everything, and it feels good, making amends in that aspect to everybody, and just having the new freedoms, right? It feels like I paroled already, right? I was saying, like I'm out. I'm not in death row no more. It's kind of like I already stepped out the front gates already. For me, like they tell me like, what's your next step, man? I'm already home. I'm already paroled. I'm out. Look at where I'm at. There's people right now still sitting in death row with half program or no program. And man, I'm out here right now outside getting sun, walking the yard, buying ice cream. Well, you know what I mean? Like they don't have that over there. So I'm living to the best that I can where I'm at.
Yeah, no, I could definitely hear it on your voice. I don't think that you'd sounded this happy when you were in death row, but I'm sure once
Oh no.
once
Yeah.
and the Iceman just put a comment right here. He says, "Wow, Carlos, your transformation and your new outlook on life really shows through your words."
That's right. Hey, thank you, Iceland. I'm trying. I mean, every day is. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna say every day is easy, but I'm trying. And I found out that in prison, being respectful to every person around me in prison to the point where I want that, like, you give respect, they'll show it to you back, and you're humble, and they'll see that. And if you're smiling all the time, they're gonna wonder why, like, why is he always smiling? They always tell me like that. Yeah, there you go with that smile again, man. I said, man, I'm blessed, homeboy. I feel comforted. I got every reason to be smiling. And some people don't know my story. Some people don't know that I'm from death row, And when I tell them, well, now I'm a condemned inmate, they're like, what? Did you? Like, yeah. And they're like, oh, okay, all right. Like, it makes sense now. You know what I mean? I said, yeah, man. I got all the reasons to smile right now. Like, I got a family who loves me. Got a fiance. I work in the canteen. You know, I'm staying busy. You know, mentally and going to my groups, helping people out. You know, like before I was real selfish. You know what I mean? And now, like when you help people out, that gives you that different energy, right? Something that I've never had before, and I crave it. You know what I mean? It gives me that worthiness. So you know, I could really tell you it's genuine. You know what I mean? I love my life. I've never felt more alive now than I ever did, even when I was in the streets, man. That's the crazy part about it. You know?
And why do you think do you feel more alive now than you felt on the streets? Is it does that do you feel like it's due to your spiritual awakening and that connection with God maybe that you didn't have while you were on the street?
Um, that's part of it. That's a big part of it, but mostly because you know, when I was in the streets, I was always like stressful. You know what I mean? I always had to prove myself. There was like big ego, big pride. You know what I mean? I was a people pleaser in a different way, right? And like I used to use people, right? You know, pretty much see what I can get out of them. All relationships that I had were like, okay, see what I can get out of a person, right? And now it's different. You know what I mean? Everything. It seems like now when I went from nothing to starting from like rock bottom, from death row, and reconstructing my whole image, my whole identity. I had to break down the old person that used to be Booms, like that used to be my handle back in the days, my AKA Booms, Booms. That used to be like, cause I used to fight a lot, and I'm not a little dude, right? Like, you know, I'm kind of stocky, and I had hands, and I'm known for that back where I'm from, and well respected in that area. I put in a lot of work in just so people knew who I was and they knew my last name. And so now it's a whole different reputation. Now the people that I'm trying to please is is a heavenly host, right? People in heaven, my and be an example of what real change can be. Like I had to change the way I talk. I had to change the way I think. I had to stop entertaining the old me, the old pride. And when it rises up, I'm so quick to just stop and think and relax and reflect and be like, you know what? It's not worth it. Back in the days, I would have just took off on that fool for something like that. But you know what? He's probably going through something. I put myself in their shoes now and be like, you know what? I used to be like that, real angry, real disrespectful, or like not in that way, but like in a way with their words, right? And be like, you know, he's probably going through something, and not just think about it, but actually go and have a conversation with it and be like, hey, check this out, man. How you doing, man? And lo and behold, you know, they're not bad people. They just they're still stuck in that worldly lifestyle, and if they don't have no one to encourage them or to say, you know what, you're a smart dude, man. You got a good head on your shoulders, man. Like, keep it up. You know, I'm proud of you. Like, they don't hear that type of language every single day. To me, it doesn't cost me nothing, and it comes out genuinely, and I really mean it when I say it. And that's a dying art in prison, right? Encouragement. And so I'm one of those persons that tries to emulate that and push it out and do it. And I'm not embarrassed, you know, or to who I tell it to, because I know somebody did it to me, and look at my outcome. And so I gotta give it back. And so, believe it or not, hey, this is all real, you know what I mean? And I do give thanks to God for all of it. And so there's a lot of different self helps that I did also in death row that also helped me, like different books that I've read that helped me to change my whole way of thinking.
And what were and would you mind sharing those books that you were reading while you were on death row that helped get through those those
Um,
dark moments or hard times?
well, trip on the this one book. Look at this. It might sound kind of crazy, but just hear me out. You know, this book by Brian Amen. He's a neuro doctor, scientist that does studies on the brain, and he was about teaching, trying to get you out of your head and into living your life. And so in that book, it teaches you about how strong your mind is. So let me give you an example. And we're just going to read this. He says, he's reading me as a book. He goes, we're just going to read this. And he goes, I want you to picture yourself. You have a coffee cup in your hand. So in that coffee cup, you're going to spit into it 10 times. So you get this coffee cup and you spit into it 10 times. Okay, now you spit into it 20 more times. You spit into it 20 more times. You spit into it 10 more times. Spit into it 10 more times. Okay, now drink that cup. Okay, so do you feel the disgust that your body feels? And you didn't really do it.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
It was just a visual exercise. But if your mind can make you feel something that you just visualize and you didn't really do, will soar all your other emotions. So whenever you have fearful thoughts, your body's going to respond in a certain way. It's going to put you on fight or flight. Your hands will get sweaty. Your heart will start racing. Your thoughts will start thinking paranoid thoughts. You get all antsy. You're just like, so what it was trying to teach you is this book was how powerful are your thoughts. You need to learn how to control your thoughts. If you can control your thoughts, you'll help control your emotions better. And then it talks about how to learning how to ponder on what you're thinking about. So they did an exercise about you get a line paper and every 30 minutes you write down what you're thinking about. Doesn't matter what it is, a writing paper, just 20 lines. You write every 30 minutes, whatever it is that thought you're thinking, you write it down. If it's work, your wife, sex, whatever it is, you write it down. And then you write down that whole 25 lines, and then you evaluate. Okay, what am I thinking about? And you're gonna see something pop out. You know what? I've been thinking about this problem that I have with this one guy, like obsessively throughout the whole day. And then you start figuring out, like you build this awareness, like, oh shit, I never really thought about that. I didn't even know I was wasting that much time thinking about this situation. And then that's how you start learning to resolve your issues of what you're thinking about, and you reevaluate them. Okay, how important is this thought? Is this thought, can I take care of this thought? Like making amends with somebody. Why am I thinking about this person? This person's dead already. Why am I even thinking about him? Okay, whenever that thought comes, change the channel in your head. So it was just helping you build an awareness in your mind of what you're thinking about. And believe it or not, that was a strong moment for me because I had no idea I was over-obsessing over the stupidest little things throughout the day. It was teaching me how to get out of my head and getting things that I needed to do and prioritize my thoughts. And it helped me prioritize my day and prioritize my emotions throughout the day. And so that's just one book off the back right there that teaches about just something simple.
Hey Carlos, I just looked at the time. I see that
Yeah.
we're about to get the announcement right now for the 60 seconds. And I do have an interview
Got it.
coming up at about 8 o'clock. So,
Got it.
do you have any parting words?
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Do you have any parting words
Yeah, I just
for?
want to say thank you. Yeah, no, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for all those who blessed me today and blessed this broadcast. And Thank you for all those listeners out there. Hey, God bless you. I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas and New Year's. And remember, it's about Jesus' birthday. Enjoy your families. And, you know, God bless you guys, man. God bless you too, James. Enjoy your family. And I love what you're doing. Keep your head up. We appreciate you. And you're a strong man, man. We thank you.
Thank you. I mean, you guys are the ones that are sharing the story. So I mean, you guys are the ones, taking time out of your day and going down through your journeys, through your stories, through your lives, which is not easy, because from a child, oh, my apologies. I kept on going. I totally forgot about that. The 60-second mark. But once again, I want to go and thank all of you guys for tuning in, and also special thanks to Lifestyles Chronicles and Fish Slayer SoCal, for those $20 that you guys sent over to Carlos, and I'm gonna go ahead and send that over to him right now, and those $20 that you guys sent over my way, really appreciate it. Appreciate the gratitude, and thank you for listening to You Have a Collect Call From, and my new slogan's gonna be, what was it again? Life's like a candle. What is it? Life's like a candle. Once you blow it, it's over, or something like that. I don't know. I gotta go back to the. Gotta listen to one of the videos that I think it was yesterday. Yeah, I gotta double check. I'm really scattered brains right now, so I don't remember what it was, but it sounded kind of catchy. Anyhow, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream now. We should be having Silas and Gary are gonna be coming on together. Um, Definitely should be interesting. So hope to see you guys there. If not, then you guys could go ahead and catch that on the playback. All right. Well, and with that, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the stream. You guys go ahead and have a good night.